Hi everybody! It's the Super Bowl and I'm tired and I have a headache and I have a midterm coming up, but I also have to study. And I figured I might as well make a video out of it, cause it's not like I'm doing anything with my screen or my hands. I'm just reading a piece of paper and that's really boring. So I figured I'd play Mini Metro, and if you don't know, it's about managing sort of a train system and you just make sure everything runs efficiently. Now, I'm studying for anthropology, my Asian studies, Asian archaeology class? Yeah, I don't remember what it is. So I figured I'd start with Hong Kong because the questions that I'm doing have to do with China, and I guess Hong Kong's sort of China. So I hope you can hear the sound, because I love how just sort of peaceful it is. So this is just going to be a really chill video, while I just sort of read my papers to you guys. Well, not papers, my questions. We were actually, I don't know if I'll get in trouble for this, I'll upload it after my midterm. But we were given a list of all the midterm questions. Like, we were given the actual test a couple weeks in advance, so we can just sort of study and get really good answers, because these aren't really like knowledge questions. These are more like write a mini paper for every question kind of questions. So it's like a lot are based on readings, so I'm gonna skip all those. But I figured I'd make a video because maybe I'll learn something and remember something, or maybe you guys will learn something. I don't know. I think what I'm studying is pretty neat. Pretty interesting. I'll skip the first three, like I'm basically just gonna read all of my the questions that will be on the exam on my midterm and then just answer them. I probably won't get in trouble. We were given the questions. But I'll skip the first three questions because they have to do with the readings, and you didn't do the readings, I assume, because I really hope you're not in my class and stealing all the answers, because that will get me in trouble, I betcha. But I also didn't do the readings, so I wouldn't know the answer either. Oh, I hate the way this looks. I want it to be like this. Yuck. So let me just start with question 4, which is, in lecture we talked about major cultural divisions during the earlier Chinese Neolithic period. What cultural features are these divisions based on, and why are they significant? Okay, so I have a typed out answer, but I am not going to look at it. I'm going to try my best to just sort of remember everything. So the Chinese Neolithic period, this is about, let's see here, 6,000 BC, so about 8,000 years ago, I guess. Oh, let's get, oh, finally a triangle, thank goodness. So, I think the Neolithic period was divided, you guys can hear me, right? Hold on, let me just check the proper, oh, yeah, there's no offset, so that's good. So you should be seeing this line, carriage, right? Okay. Let's put another line. So you guys should be seeing this as I click on everything. Hopefully. So yeah, where was I? The Chinese Neolithic is divided by food, by ceramics, and by building styles, I believe. Like... So let's start with food. Well, the North and the South were divided by differences in food as well as tools. In the North, the main domesticated crop was millet, while the South generally had like rice as their main crop, so I guess the North lost on that one because no one eats millet anymore, right? It's bird food. But the North also had cabbage, peaches, plums, persimmons, and stuff. Oh, they also had animals like pigs and, oh, they even had alligator. So, can you imagine that? 8,000 years ago, Chinese people were eating alligator in this little sort of area? It's crazy. Oh, I should put this up here. Cut right across. But look, this looks pretty nice, doesn't it? I got a loop going on. Okay, where was I? Yeah, so the North was eaten pretty well, I guess, even though they had millet and not... Like, this is just a generalization. They weren't locked into only having millet. Some places did have rice. But the South, they had rice, and they also had citrus trees like lemons, limes, and oranges, I guess. Like, you'd associate Chinese with oranges, wouldn't you? Because they got mandarin oranges. And when people ask me what kind of Chinese I speak, I'm just like, oh, you know, tangerine, or clementine, or whatever made up Chinese I can think of that's an orange name. Just enough to trick white people and then run away. What else do they have? They also had water plants like lotus. Did I say that already? But there's also a difference in the tools. Oh, hold on. This is kind of a mess here. Yeah, there's also a difference in the tools that each area used. Like, for example, in a village, no, in an area called Banpo in the north, they had stone reaping tools, I guess, just sort of like little knives made out of stone. It's pretty cool. Ah, good. Locomotives, finally. Why am I out of breath? Am I having an asthma attack? It's too much studying stress. There. Yeah, they had stone, and in Dawanku, also in the north, they had, I think, shell and stone reaping tools? No, sickles. They had little sickles made out of shell, so I guess they were close to the water since they had shell. But now the south, they had sort of like these lunate, half-moon shaped, like axes, reaping tools out of stone, which is pretty cool. Like, I'd show you a picture, but I don't want to pause my game. Even though nothing's really happening, but still. Oh god, this is kind of a mess. I'm not gonna make it. This is really messy, and I'm really upset over this general area here. But you know what you can do? You can always pause it and just take out a bunch of lines. Clean that up. Ah, okay, so that was just part 1 of this question. There's 3 parts to this question. Another thing... they were also... Chinese Neolithic was divided by... Let's see here. What did I say? Ceramics? Yes, ceramics. Now, in this way, they were divided by east and west instead of north and south. What should I do here? Good, okay. Now I believe it's the west. Yes, it's gotta be the west. In the west there was the Yangshao culture, and their pottery was generally rounder and painted. Their main form of decoration was painting. And they were really complex, like, designs. It was like red and black, and it was just really beautiful. If you're interested in pottery, I recommend looking up both these traditions that I will talk about, Yangshao. Now, the vessels were really simple, just sort of globby looking pots, meant to store food, just very simple shapes. Ah, look at all these circles, what a disaster. There we go. It's not so bad. Where was I? They also had, like, few projections. They were just nice round things, and they had flat bottoms, and they didn't have, like, low, sorta, well, sometimes they had little feet, which is pretty cute. But in the east, in the Dawanku, which then became the Longshan culture, ceramics were not painted, but they were burnished or polished, which is where you take a rock and you just rub it over the surface of the pot. Makes it really shiny, it turns it sort of a grayish black color. It's very interesting. Okay, what should I do with this? Give it to you. And then put this over here. And then put another one in here. Alright, and then I can fit another one here. Which way is it going? I want them all to go the same way because I'm very, very picky like that. Uh-oh. What do I do with this? Ah! That's a mess. Don't like that. It's gonna have to do for now. Oh, goddammit, this is also a mess. Where was I? Yes, the Dawanku culture vessels were more elaborate. They were wheel-made sometimes, and they were incredibly thin and smooth, apparently. I've never touched them, so I don't know. But they were called black eggshellware because they apparently resembled black eggshells by how thin and the color. I would love to see them, but I'd probably break them. So yeah, when you find these just buried in centuries and centuries of dirt, you find them mostly broken, and people were actually able to piece them back together. That's the kind of job I would like. I love doing puzzles, and I love old garbage. Oh, what a mess. No, we're gonna die on this one. Whatever, it's all good. Just leave it. Because I'm studying. I'm not playing games. I'm studying. Where was I? Yes, they were also... They had, like, spouts and complex handles and, like, these long legs. Sort of like when you put them over fires and stuff, and... Let's play a different map. It's sort of like when you're camping and you got a pot with feet on it. Sort of like that. There was another one that was in China. I know it. Shanghai. There it is. Okay, let's play that. See how it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is kind of a mess. And yeah, just pedestals or feet. And then I think that Daewonku pottery also differs in how it's used for funerals and stuff. Like, you'd put offerings to your ancestors on them, leave them in tombs. Like, they were very fancy, very elaborate, very complex looking sort of shapes. Like, it's not meant for storing your rice. You put in your fancy stuff in there, like rice wine. And I think that's all I got for part 2 of question 4. Lastly, the Chinese Neolithic period is divided by the settlement patterns. I don't know much about this either. I think I know the most about the ceramic styles because that's what I am planning on writing my papers on. I'll be talking about this later, but I feel like I'd be okay with doing a paper and presentation on how the ceramic styles evolved in this area. But back to the settlement patterns and building styles. So, in the north, you generally tend to find more pit buildings, where basically a hole is dug into the ground and covered up with a roof. And in the south, you find more raised buildings, like buildings on stilts, because it's a lot rainier there. There's the muddy sort of areas are more common. Lots of flooding, maybe lots of just marshy areas in general. So yeah, it's just raised up on stilts to protect the house from flooding in rainy areas. But in both the north and the south, you tend to find also... Like, surface houses are present in both areas, but it's just that you'll generally find pits in the north, raised in the south. And also, it's not as complex as you think by raising or digging up pits, because most of the buildings were one-room buildings, so you don't have to worry about digging up multiple rooms or putting in multiple stilted areas. But yeah, I think those are all. Oh wait, I didn't answer the full question. What are these and why is it significant? I guess I sorta said why it's significant, didn't I? I don't know. It's significant because that's just what it was. It's not really significant if you think about it. It's just people lived in these buildings and nothing really matters. Look at that. It's kind of a mess. Okay, question 5, question 6 are also regarding the readings, which I did not do. This is just a disaster. Let's redo it. I want this part to be red, and I want this part to be green, and I want this part to be yellow, and I want this to be blue. Now I just have to connect them somehow. I love the sound. The way everything sounds in this game. It's pretty. Can you hear it? I hope I turned it up enough. Desktop audio is really low. Okay, let's continue. I'll put it back on normal speed. So question 7 I can go on to. It relates sort of to the ceramics in the first question. I'm gonna try and not look at my paper. Describe the main characteristics of Chinese Longshan culture. Which features have their roots in the earlier Neolithic and which represent new innovations? Well, let's see here. After I fix this track. Yikes. Ugh. No, I don't like this. You guys can see my mouse, right? Yeah, you can. Well... Like I was saying, it's related to ceramics, so ceramics appear in the Chinese Longshan culture. I believe also jade technology, domesticated animals, conflict arises, social ranks, I guess. There's one more. Exchange. There's trading and exchange going on. Now, I don't think any of these are new innovations. They all appear much earlier, especially ceramics, doi. Oh, and animals. Did I say animals? Whatever. But yeah, these are all, they're just in this period, which is about 1,000 years after the Neolithic, maybe? I don't know math. Bad at years. But yeah, these all appear 1,000 years earlier or more. They're just much more advanced, much more fully developed. So, with the ceramics, by the time of the Longshan culture, the Yangshao and Daoanku ceramic cultures are no longer divided by East and West. They're sort of merged. They've been taken over by the Longshan ceramic culture. Like, the Yangshao cultures are no longer like the painted reds and blacks. Wait, carriage or line, guys? I don't know. Carriage. But they're more like the black eggshell ware sort of type of stuff. It's much more advanced at this point. There's more... Oh, should I put in? No, that's fine. Ugh. Yuck. Yeah, it's just more advanced. And also, related to the food, that mixed economy that we had with like the vegetables and the animals in the south and the east, or in the north, sorry. It's more just sort of all mixed up more. Let me check my notes. Whoops. But yes, there's just... It shifts to an increased reliance on domesticated animals at this point in time. There's also evidence of exotic items like jade and ivory and turtle shell being used in these rituals that I talked about with the... Oh wait, did I talk about them? Yes, with the pottery I talked a little bit about them. So there's more of a use of those. And because those items are not found in this area generally, it's basically points to evidence of trading. Otherwise, how else would you get them? I guess you can go there by yourself, but that's kind of dumb. I think we need another one here. No, maybe not. What should I do about this? So, what else? Oh yeah, I never talked about jade. In the Longshan culture, we also see advancement of jade technologies, like they would just be carving jade more. Also, the ranked clans appear more, or there's more proof of ranked clans. I don't really have much to say about that. I should have really did the readings. Longshan culture also sees the appearance of weapons and evidence of warfare. I think that's really interesting, because we also see the appearance of projectile points, or and corpses are found thrown down wells, or they're just headless or even footless, which is a little weird. There's also, like, in settlement patterns, there's a difference in the way things are built. Not like the houses, but big walls start appearing. Like, everyone knows about China and how they love walls. Great Wall China, doi. But, like, you'd get these stamped wall sort of things. Like, you are, like, a leader of a clan, and then you just get all your peasants to come and stomp on this big mound of dirt until it consolidates into a big wall. Okay, let's get this guy over here. And get rid of this one. It's getting real close, my god. I'm not gonna make it either. Ah, yikes. But yeah, you just sort of stamp on walls and build up an entire big solid mound. Like, I guess if there's conflict, you're gonna need defense from all the conflict, right? But that's generally, those are the main characteristics, I would say. I hope I'm answering this question right, because this midterm is worth like half my grade. Let's move on to the next question. It's a 10 question thing, but I'm only gonna do 3 because, like, I've already been at this for 20 minutes. It's nuts. So, question 8. What are some of the important features of Shang bronze ritual vessels, and how were they integrated and used in Shang society? I guess there's 3 main uses that I would say, and they're all very much connected. Like, of course, the Shang ritual vessels were used in ritual. Like, the bronze vessels were mainly used for the elites. Like, okay, wait, let me just back up a little. So, the Shang society, Shang dynasty? I don't know. The Shang. They just appeared maybe 2000 BC, so about 4,000 years ago. So, 4,000 years after what I was talking about with the Neolithic. So it's kind of a big jump in time, really. Like, I can't even imagine where we would be in 4,000 years. Year 60... 18. What year is it? So, yeah, if you were an elite person in this society, you would have a number of these bronze vessels. Like, bronze vessels pretty much showed off that you had access to metal, but it also showed off that you had a ton of people working for you and able to make, like, this metal. Like, you had craftspeople working for you because you were an elite and you commanded all these people. Like, I guess that sort of just shows off your power. Like, later in the Zhou period, just having bronze vessels meant you were able to rule. Like, if you didn't have a ton of these bronze vessels, they'd be like, you'd be just a loser. What should I get? Line? We can connect this one all the way up to the... There we go. Put all the weird ones in. Don't need this one if I have that other square. Okay. Oh, and I have a tunnel too, so I can just... Cool. Right across. Where else was I? Oh yeah, just bronze vessels. They were used for ancestral rites, where the vessels were basically used to communicate with the ancestors by putting food and drinks into the vessels and giving them as offerings to the dead ancestors. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, why do we give flowers to our dead? Like, why do we visit graves and give people flowers? I think we should be leaving full McDonald's meals on graves, because, like, it's the exact same thing. The flowers will die, the meals will die, they get thrown away when they're rotten. Like, what's the difference? They cost about the same. Bring me a burger when you visit my grave. That's so much better than a bunch of flowers. Or maybe bring me a succulent. Love succulents. Let's fix this. Hey, we're not doing so bad. Let's put the yellow line into here. Take some of the load off that one. But the Shang were also pretty much known as the party animals of ancient China. Like, they would go crazy binge drinking rice wine, and I wrote a paper 5 years ago, like, on the Shang Society, about the Lady Fu Hao, who was one of Emperor Wu Ding's wives, like one of his favorites. But she was also given a bunch of privileges, like being able to be a warrior and be a priest. Like, she's my big hero. Like, her burial is like the most intact Shang burial ever, because, like, I guess she was well hidden, but every single other large Shang burial was absolutely looted the heck out of. Like, there are no bronze vessels just still hidden in the ground. They've all been looted, or we just haven't found them yet. But Lady Fu Hao, for whatever reason, her grave was totally fine. Unfortunately, we lost her body because the water sort of got into her tomb, and because the water was sort of acidic, it just sort of melted her bones away. Carriage or tunnel? Carriage. Because look at red. Yikes. Should get another line in there, damn it. Oh well. Did I answer the question? I'm not sure. I was too busy talking about Lady Fu Hao. If you're interested in archaeology, I recommend looking up her tomb, because that is a great start. That's where I got started, and it's just really cool if you're into ancient China, into big graves, big burials. It's just really cool. Okay, it's getting a little hard now. Oh god. Hey, we got up to 7. Oh no, this is it. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. We're done. So, yeah, I answered 3 questions. I think that's enough studying for today. I hope you like the game Mini Metro. It's very chill, very calm, very easy to talk to while you study for your midterm that's worth half your grade. But I think I'll stop right there. Yeah, I'll answer the other questions later. But I hope you guys learned something. I actually learned something just by reading my notes and hearing them in my voice again. So my midterm should be done by now. I'm posting this tomorrow. But thanks for watching. Goodbye.